everybody. Happy Friday.
Yep.
It's my favorite show. I say that every Friday, but it is. It's my favorite show.
Yeah. Probably won't be a full show, though, because we have to go to the club.
Well, I mean, it's still going to be like an hour and a half.
It'll be like an hour and a half.
Something like that.
That's
We have to dip like right around 9 o'clock.
Right. Around
yeah,
that time.
tonight is Memento Mori.
Yeah.
So we got to do that. And tomorrow night, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this. I'm getting too old for this shit. But tomorrow night is Barbarella's 40th anniversary.
Yeah.
Like, it hasn't been in the same place. It's been in the same place most of the time, but it's in a different place now. But yeah, they opened in 1984, downtown Orlando, and they're doing their 40th anniversary tomorrow night, and I'd kind of like to go to that, but like I said, I might be too fucking tired. We'll see how it goes tonight, and if we don't spend $1 million and all of that kind of crap. I think last time, when we went to Barbarella last Saturday, I think we ended up spending like $130.
Yeah.
I mean, for both of us,
Yeah.
but that's still a lot.
About that, yeah.
I mean, yeah. What did you say it was 136? I mean, we do tip.
It's
well.
about that, yeah.
We do tip well, but yeah, it was a lot. We do drink a lot, but to be fair, the drinks are kind of expensive too. Although I don't think they're not really any more expensive than anywhere else.
Yeah, and they're not.
To be honest,
and they were actually a little bit cheaper than the canned drinks at the old place.
Yeah, because at the pickleball warehouse, that I call it, they didn't have he couldn't use the liquor license that he had there.
Yeah.
So they had like those little canned, pre-mixed cocktails, which are okay.
Yeah, it's not real hard liquor though.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, you can drink like 50 of those and like
drink
still.
A shit ton of those and
yeah,
still be standing.
I could too. So
Although one time I slammed a bunch of them, remember, got fucking wasted.
Yeah, now that's the most wasted I've ever seen.
Yeah, I backed up, hit a car in a parking lot, boom. But it just hit the bumper. And I was
it was all right.
Fuck it, I'm getting out of here.
It was all right, yeah.
Yeah.
Drunk driving, but yeah, so and they were charging like $8. Like if we had our bartender, like he would only charge us like half.
Yeah.
But so he wasn't always there.
He wasn't there all the time, yeah.
So I think the other ones thought they would get in trouble. But like that one guy was like, so he'd only charge us like half.
Yeah, but I've kind of rebated a lot of that in fucking tip to him though.
Well, that's what I mean. It's well, that's kind of hey man, if you give me like a deal on drinks, I will cut you off a piece. I'm gonna like tip. On
it ended up being costing about the same, no matter what happened with what. Just what I mean? Because maybe we got over $20. Maybe it might have been $20 cheaper.
Yeah.
But he made a lot more on it.
But this new place, we don't get a deal. But I think that the ones I get, I just usually get vodka and orange juice, and I just get the well because they have a decent well vodka.
They got good
there.
well shit there, yeah.
Like, so I'm not paying a few bucks extra like for the good shit because I'm like I can't really tell the difference.
No, yeah, like well is the good shit there.
Yeah, like the well at Barbarella
good.
used to be Aristocrat.
Yeah, terrible.
Which tastes like rubbing alcohol.
Terrible.
So I would pay for better shit there.
Yeah.
But this place, what is their well vodka?
Was it Svedka?
I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
But it's like it's fine. I never.
Yeah, it's good. It's good vodka.
So I'm not paying for like.
And then they had
primo shit.
Their tequila is good too. They use fucking El Jimador. That's pretty good.
Which we bought that.
Yeah, but that's
home. So.
Yeah, that's mid tier.
Yeah, it's it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Yeah, everybody's talking about the Mike Tyson fight.
Yeah, I know. I want to see it.
I don't really care about dudes punching each other. Well, I mean, unless
this Mike Tyson.
Unless the dude on the receiving end is someone that I hate and deserves to get punched.
The dude.
Then I care.
The dude on the other side, he's not a pro fighter. He's fought a lot of old pro fighters and MMA guys. But I don't think he's a pro boxer. I don't think somebody might clear up on that. But anyway, he's a big shit talker. He's only 27. Mike Tyson's probably what, 57?
Yeah, he's got to be older than us.
Yeah, he's about 4 or 5 years older than me. So maybe 3. He's coming. Tyson's pushing 60. But that doesn't really mean the same thing as it used to mean. I mean, fucking. Not really. Look at that dude. Tyson looks fucking like a fucking death machine. You know what I mean? He fucking looks. He's in real good shape. He's got a little weight around the middle, but he went back on. He went on testosterone and trained and fucking gained a lot of his good fucking muscle back. He he doesn't look as lean as he did, but he looks bigger than he used to. And people kind of underestimate how good Mike Tyson was as a boxer. Oh, they want to point to Muhammad Ali and how good Muhammad Ali was, but Muhammad Ali was a great fucking fighter. Tyson, though, he just had a different style. He just went in there and just wrecked you. He was fucking extremely strong, and he was like a tank. So he didn't need any fancy strategies. His strategy was just to kill you, and he was just direct. And I just remember, growing up, seeing him fight and watching those fights, and they'd last only like a few minutes. And you could see the fear in the other guy's eyes that they'd be like, "Oh fuck," you know what I mean? I'm probably not gonna beat this dude. And yeah, dude, fucking fuck you up. He punched very hard, and he just won all the fights by knockouts. Usually in the first round.
Victor says the dude on the receiving end is an annoying as fuck YouTuber. Oh, okay, well then punch away. Punch away.
He can't fight though. The YouTuber,
well,
he can fight.
Okay, I don't know.
But he has, and you look at him, he's bigger than Tyson. He's, he looks bigger, longer reach and shit. He's pretty tall, and he has fought a lot of pro fighters. It's just in these fucking these fucking. It's just a show fight, But we'll see. Tyson's sick of him talking shit. Some people say, "Well, it looks staged." I don't think it's staged.
Well, if it's not, maybe he'll punch his teeth in. That'd be cool.
Yeah, I don't think it's staged.
I don't care one way or the other. CB said, "Jenny, you look absolutely gorgeous. Thank you very much."
Oh yeah, she looks good. She looks great tonight. You guys should see what she's wearing.
Clothes.
Yeah, go show.
No.
No. Okay.
No. It's just a shiny corset and a little short skirt with little straps on
her little goth boots and shit.
And my little velvety.
Yeah.
Short boots.
Yeah.
Phantom says, "What's Monday's movie review going to be?" I have no idea, dude. 1978's The Fifth Floor, or 1983's Thanksgiving slasher Blood Rage, or 1981's Thanksgiving slasher Home Sweet Home. Just wondering. I actually don't know yet. Well, wait, Thanksgiving isn't next week, is it?
I don't know.
Oh fuck! What's today? It's Friday, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yesterday's the 14th. Oh shit! Maybe it is.
Yeah.
Oh crap. Okay, yeah. So maybe we should do a Thanksgiving movie on Monday.
Right.
Well, we can do. Isn't there that new? Didn't Eli Roth have something to do with a new Thanksgiving movie that came out in the theater like last year?
I don't know.
I think it's on Amazon Prime or some shit.
All right.
We might do that one, or I thought we'd already done Blood Rage though. Didn't we do Blood Rage?
I don't know.
All right, I gotta go back and look.
Yeah.
I know we did like Thanksgiving.
She's asking me what we did. I don't remember the names of any of those movies.
He doesn't remember. He'll be all the time. It's like, I never saw that. I'm like, yeah, you did. We watched that like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
I mean,
she can remind me of what movie it was. It's, oh yeah, that one.
I mean, well, after a time, I forget too, because I've watched and reviewed so many movies that it's like sometimes. Well, because what happens too sometimes is that I'm like, I'll watch a movie like, a couple years ago, and then I thought we reviewed it, but we never did for whatever reason, like, because we watched something else and we decided to review that instead. So it's like, so I get kind of confused about that. So I'd have to go back and look. I know we did Thanksgiving, because I know one of you guys sent us the Thanksgiving movies.
Yeah.
So I know we did that either last year or the year before.
Yeah. I
thought we had done Blood Rage, but maybe not. But so, I mean, maybe we could do that. But like I said, I saw that they put the new Thanksgiving movie up too. There's one on, I thought Hulu had one, because Hulu has something called Into the Dark, which I think is affiliated with Blumhouse somehow. And they put out a new horror movie every month. And it usually has something to do with whatever holiday. So they've done a couple Christmas movies, obviously. They did some Thanksgiving ones, Easter ones, like shit like that. I think I reviewed, one of their Christmas movies, I think was Puka. And I think I remember actually really liking that. I think we might have done the sequel too. I didn't like the sequel as much, but the first one was actually pretty good. But yeah, I mean, we might. Victor also said I looked amazing. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Victor's thinking that guy's going to beat Mike Tyson. I don't think so. And Mike Tyson is very experienced. And he's better than a lot of people give him credit for. They think, he's old now. He's not that strong. Or, fuck, that dude's fucking strong, man. Really strong, really powerful. And this dude is not a top fighter. He should knock him out. I don't think he'll have a problem. And fucking Mike Tyson is basically an atomic bomb. He's an explosive ball of fucking rage. And when he gets pissed, he fucking gets fast. And what's that?
I'm also an explosive ball of rage.
Yeah. He'll fuck him up. I think he'll fuck him up. That dude punches hard. And age doesn't mean what it used to because they're using anabolic steroids and fucking testosterone. His bone density's good. He's fucking strong, man.
CB says, my girlfriend is pissed. She thought we were going to fuck tonight, but I chose a boxing match instead. Bro, I don't blame her for being upset. Don't choose boxing over fucking your girlfriend. Come on.
Another one of Mike Tyson's tricks is that he was hard to knock out. You couldn't really knock him out. He's just like a tank. So as long as he still has that attribute of not being almost impossible to knock out, he'll win. I don't think he's changed much. If you look at their bodies side by side, he looks a little bit bigger than he used to. And he's still probably pretty fast.
Oh, so this whole Thanksgiving movie is like not even, because Victor says Thanksgiving is in 2 weeks, the 28th.
Yeah.
Okay. See, that's what I thought. I was like, wait, is it already? Holy crap.
No. I'm not seeing Thanksgiving fucking deals yet.
Okay, shit. It's kind of scared me for a second. I was like, oh, damn. I'm going to have to, like, fucking... And I, because I was planning on doing maybe, like, some Thanksgiving movies for my series also. But before that, I actually watched two horror movies last night back to back. And I did reviews of both of them. So I'm going to put them up. Probably one on Sunday and maybe one on Tuesday. We'll see how it goes. One's old and one's new. Should I spoil it? One of them is Mute Witness from 1995. And one of them is You'll Never Find Me, which is an Australian horror thriller from 2023 or 2024, depending. It was made in 2023, but it came out here in 2024. Yeah, we didn't do Blood Rage. Okay. We thought about it. I guess we just never did it. Victor said, don't forget to review Trap. Now, didn't everybody say that sucked? That's the M. Night Shyamalan?
I didn't see it.
Man, I haven't seen it yet either. But it's on, it's either on Hulu or Max, I can't remember. It's on one streaming service that I watch all the time because I keep seeing the fucking commercial for it. Like, they're really pushing that shit hard because it's M. Night Shyamalan. And I have heard nothing but negative reviews of it. I'm still kind of curious to see it, even though I haven't liked any of his movies except for The Sixth Sense and kind of Signs and Split and that.
Yeah, the superhero movies.
Like all the other ones that he made were hot garbage. So
he's hit and miss. It just depends on what it is he's doing.
And honestly, I saw the trailer for this one like back when it first played in the theaters, and it didn't even like the premise didn't even look all that interesting to me then. So I really didn't have much interest in seeing it. And like I said, I haven't seen Old either, the one where all these people like age super rapidly. So I don't know. We'll see. Victor said yes, but it sucked so bad that you have to watch it. Okay, now I'm intrigued.
Victor's also saying that Tyson's being paid to take a dive. I don't think so. I don't think he'd do it. That dude hates to lose. You couldn't pay him to fucking take a dive.
John Smith said I liked The Village. I kind of liked The Village too. I saw it in the theater when it came out. And I was like ambivalent. I was like, well, that was kind of good. But then I wasn't sure I really liked the twist. And I was just kind of like, wait, does that make sense or no? Or I don't know. Like, we watched it again recently and reviewed it. And I was like, yeah, I guess I do kind of like that movie. So that was actually like a pretty good movie. But like the premise of it makes absolutely no sense. But that's okay. CB said, I fucked my girlfriend. Hope she enjoyed the 5 minutes she got. Well, at least she got 5 minutes. Now you're going to go watch At least you got it over with, right? At least you got it over with.
It's starting in 15 minutes, but then they're going to fucking amp it up for another 50. They'll ramp it up for 15, 20 minutes, and then the fight will start. It won't last long.
Like I said, I'm not worried about it one way or the other.
It's on Netflix.
Gramthars Hammer is here. Haven't seen you in a while, I feel like.
What's up, Gramp?
Or at least you haven't been commenting. Mm-hmm. So I keep reading about Florida Man. What is your definition of this characterization? Do you know Florida Man types? Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
See him almost on a daily basis here.
Yeah, Florida Man, it's a meme for a reason.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not just Florida man, because I feel like there's Mississippi man and Alabama man, and it's kind of all the same taxonomy.
It's the same thing.
You know what I feel like?
Florida man, he may not be from Florida, too. He's just a dude who's here now. And
a lot of people aren't. I am, but a lot of people aren't.
Yeah. He's usually some kind of redneck. And not only has he done something, he's done something that really stands out. And then when you see him, you're like, oh, okay. Yeah.
He looks exactly the way you imagined when you heard the story
Same
about
clothes,
what
everything.
happened.
Yeah.
It's like, a dude went through a Wendy's drive-thru and like hung an alligator out the window at the, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And when they show the dude that did that, you're like, that's exactly what I was picturing that dude would look like. Yep. Although I think that was a woman that did that, actually.
Yeah.
Now that I'm
Florida man, 38, gets fucking, balls bitten off by a pit bull. Just anything like that. What? Florida man, you see him and he's just like, jumped over somebody's fence and fucking, pit bull got him. Fucking lost both fucking testicles. And Florida man could be anything.
He jumped over a fence trying to steal somebody's four-wheeler.
Yeah.
Or he's trying to steal something lame, like somebody's cooler of beer.
Nah, he's trying to steal somebody's lawnmower. Jumped over the fence to steal the ride-on lawnmower because he didn't have a car and he wanted to drive it to fucking 7-Eleven.
Yeah,
that kind of shit.
To get
and
some
his dogs ate him up because he thought he was good friends with that guy. That kind of shit.
Well, he was not good friends with the dog, right? So I guess he found that out the hard way.
That's just an example.
Yeah, well, no, I mean, the alligator in the drive-thru thing, that actually did happen, but it was a while back, and I don't remember all the details.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure it was a Wendy's. Sir, this is a Wendy's. But I don't remember, what all the details. I thought it was a woman, but I could be wrong about that.
Yeah, but they do bad shit, though, too.
And that might have happened more than once.
They had a Florida man several years back living in the fucking trailer park, and he kidnapped the pretty little trailer park girl. She was probably about 7. And kept her in his closet for a night. He was married. The wife didn't see her, evidently. And fucking, he molested her. And then the next day, he takes her outside, puts her in a garbage bag, takes her outside, and buries her alive. Remember that guy?
Yes, I do remember that guy.
Yeah. And then it was like a Florida man, 68. And then you see the dude, and you're like, fuck. And you see the poor little girl, the detective, she's just cute as hell. I saw the interviews with the cops afterwards on the fucking news. She was like, yeah, that dude was a real high quality individual. It was all I could do to keep from fucking killing him.
Yeah, I mean, they
That's
probably
what the cops
should have
said.
just pounded him.
The cops just wanted to kill him.
Honestly.
Yeah, as soon as they...
Which I'm usually not an advocate of, but in some cases, justified.
Yeah. The cops fucking asked me, so where is she? She was outside my window. I buried her next to the trailer. And went down there, and she had been buried alive in that damn plastic bag. He goes, I just told her to be quiet. She laid in there and be quiet. And it was like in 6 inches of dirt. That's how scared that little girl was.
Christ.
Yeah, that's how scared that little girl was. All she had to do was tear her way out of that bag and stand up. Yeah.
That's really sad.
Yeah, real sad.
People suck.
Yeah.
They do. We got a super chat from Zach, and he's pointing out, I totally forgot to mention this. I totally forgot to mention it to Tom, too, because I heard about it a few days ago. Guess what? They identified the most mysterious song on the internet.
I know.
Yes.
It's Fex.
Yeah. FEX, if you want to call it that. Yeah, German band.
And I thought it was East German, but it was West German.
Yeah.
It's just that they were kind of forgotten.
And they actually, the guys, I guess a lot of them are they're still around.
Yeah.
And they didn't know.
They're going to do a tour.
That everybody was looking for that song.
They didn't know.
I thought that was so funny.
They had no idea.
The song is called Subways of My Mind.
Subways of My Mind.
That's a great fucking song. I put it on
Subways
Spotify
of Your Mind, I think, isn't it? Or is it Subways?
I don't know.
I think it's Subways of Your Mind, I think. I thought it might have been East German, which explains why nobody knew them. I thought it was something that was done at a East German university, after hours, kind of like undercover and smuggled into West Germany and played, and they'd never figured out who that was, if it was just some music students.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Victor just pointed out something. If you Google Florida Man and your birthday,
Yeah.
you can get your own Florida Man headline.
Okay.
Victor's is Florida Man arrested for attacking daughter with pizza after she didn't want to eat with him.
There you go. Perfect.
I feel like everybody has their own Florida Man story. Thanks.
And I swear to God,
Customized.
The print media is onto this fucking. They're onto that meme because they write shit like they know it's funny.
Yeah. Well, I would too.
Yeah, Florida Man's a fucking
if I was
meme.
working on. Usually the person that, I mean, I don't know if it's still like this. I used to work for newspapers, but it used to be you didn't actually write the headline. If you wrote the article, like the editor would usually write the headline. But I don't know if it's like that anymore.
Reason why it happens is because Florida, kind of like the Panhandle and North Florida, is extremely redneck.
Yeah, big time.
The South is very Latin. Okay. We're in Central Florida. That's kind of like the DMZ. It's like the demilitarized zone. All right. It's like
this is a weird fucking place.
It's a weird. Yeah, we're in a weird zone.
There's all kind of.
Everybody's here.
That's a weird kind of shit going on.
Everybody's
well,
here.
because like I said, it's you
have mixture.
Orlando, which is like a big tourist hub, and you have like all the theme parks and all that kind of stuff. So you have all of that kind of stuff, and you have all these tourists and people from all over the world, and it's just kind of like a bizarre.
Well, you know, my family is a Southern family, and my dad's side of the family were all Mississippi, and you know, I understand redneck culture, you know, and South Florida attracts wild ass rednecks from all over the South. It's like a magnet. If you're too much trouble for Mississippi or too much trouble for Louisiana, and that's saying a lot, really, if you're too much trouble for Louisiana, those fuckers are crazy. You'll probably end up somewhere in fucking Florida eventually.
Yeah, every fucking
That's where you'll be eventually.
Eventually comes here.
Yeah.
It's kind of like all the crazy, like, shitty people.
Yeah.
It's like drains down into the penis.
Yeah.
Before they get pissed out.
The Panhandle
into the Gulf of
and North Florida is
Atlantic?
kind of like Las Vegas of rednecks. Like, you know, they go there to get in trouble.
Yeah. That's pretty much it. I mean, like I said, it's a weird fucking place. Florida's a weird fucking place.
And
like I said, I was born here, so.
So if you're a redneck, a Southern redneck, and you're fucking out of control, you're from a rural area and probably involved in a lot of meth. Yeah. Meth is a fucking redneck fucking
big time
thing.
And especially, I mean, we live in a pretty semi-rural area.
Yeah.
A lot of meth around here.
You can see it. Yeah. You see that fucking, you know, he's fucked up. He's just walking kind of like a meth zombie because he can't drive anymore. They took his license, that kind of shit.
Yeah. John Smith says, Florida, when you've run out of options and Alaska is too cold.
Yeah.
I mean, essentially.
Kinda.
I mean, it's been like that since I was a kid. I mean, it's accelerated, like, now, but even when I was a kid, it was just kind of like, this is kind of where everyone ended up.
I've been here since 2008. And Central Florida and the Orlando area has improved vastly in that period of time. It got a lot bigger and a lot nicer and a lot prettier. Got pretty colored lights downtown and fountains and shit, and fucking high-rise apartments and high-rise fucking car lots. Like high-rise car parking lots, which is kind of weird to see those. It's pretty. Orlando got real pretty.
I mean, they are trying to make it look presentable.
Yeah,
because of the tourists.
Side of the roads is real pretty.
Right. Main source of income.
Yeah,
you know, the state's.
And where we live is pretty, and you know we're in the exurbs. This used to be the boonies, 15 years ago.
Yeah.
But now it's just the outside of Orlando, really.
I mean, we're about 28 miles from downtown Orlando.
Yeah.
So it's like an easy drive.
Yeah.
Like on the toll road, you just get on the toll road.
You can get there in a half hour.
Yeah, and it takes like less than a half hour. It's like an easy drive. But yeah, where we are, it used to be like way, way, way out in the sticks. It's still out in the sticks, but not quite as bad.
It's got Orlando growing, getting bigger. You know, that old house we were at, where we used to do the show in the old office
in Sanford, yeah.
That at one time was the sticks.
Yeah,
and not now.
No, now it's like
That's part of the suburbs of
and Sanford
Orlando.
has its own airport.
Yeah.
That has like international flights or flights that catch to international flights. Because whenever you flew out of anywhere, because Tom had to a couple of times, way better to fly out of Sanford.
Yeah.
Because Orlando Airport is a
packed.
Clusterfuck.
Yeah.
And it's not even that big an airport as airports go. Because I've been to like Atlanta and Denver, like main hubs, and like, you know, like JFK in New York and Gatwick in London and stuff like that. Like it's small compared to that, but so many people come here and just fly into Orlando International that it's just a huge... I get contact anxiety just thinking about driving there. Like just the roads like around it just give me stress.
Yeah.
Ugh.
They're
It's
all
a
over the place.
horrible place. It's a horrible place. It looks nice on the inside, like it's all new and everything like that, but wow, it's like I've had to fly out of there a couple times, but I'm not a fan. Not a fan. But like I said, it's not even big as airports go. John Smith said, "My Florida man headline is topless Florida man has Florida man has been charged with multiple crimes, including attempting to kiss an elderly woman."
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
One of the things that, because I think they have idiots everywhere. I mean, well, obviously they have idiots everywhere. But the thing about Florida is that they have that sunshine law where if you get arrested for anything, it's like public record, which not every state has that.
They shame you publicly.
So not every state has that. So it's like, so people like mine, all this. And when you look for like crazy news stories, a lot of them come out of Florida.
Yep.
Because
they release it.
We release.
They publicly shame everybody.
They release everything.
There's a YouTube.
So don't
channel.
do bad shit in Florida because that's going to be all over the internet.
There's a YouTube channel that I subscribe to, and every weekend, I think it's every weekend, the sheriff comes out there, and it's the same guy, all right, and a whole staff of people. And he goes and he tells the stories of what these people did. And he's showing pictures of them and talking shit about them. All the pedos and pedos, internet pedos trying to seduce kids and shit. Pedo rings. They fucking shame the shit out of them. Dudes that got busted in prostitution stings. And, you know, they got a picture of him. And they'll go, oh, yeah, his wife's happy with him. Yeah, shit like that, you know, just fucking funny. And, you know, they do bad shit, too. You know, murders, they'll publicly shame you. Oh, yeah, he decided he was going to kill his girlfriend one day. And, like, and there's an audience, you know, listening to him. And they're going like, ooh. They're ooh and on. Oh. And he goes, yeah.
Yeah, that's
it's just like something out of a fucking...
Jerry Springer?
No, kind of reminds me out of, like, you know, the Salem witch trial type stuff where, you know what I mean, they get up there and fucking start denouncing somebody for being in league with Satan. And everybody's going like, oh, yeah. I'm going to make another drink.
Don't mind if you do. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I've never been, like I said, I was born here. I was born in Daytona Beach, actually. And it's weird because when I was growing up, I didn't know hardly any people that were born in Florida. Like almost like 95% of the people I went to school with were born somewhere else, and then like they moved here. Now my parents were not originally from here. My mom's family was from Baltimore, DC area, and my dad's family was from Tennessee. But they moved down here, like my grandparents on my dad's side, like moved down here in the 50s, like late 50s. And so my dad was a kid, and so he grew up in Florida. But when I was in high school, I think out of my friends, I knew like my best friend in high school, she was born in Gainesville in Florida. But other than that, everybody was from somewhere else. So it's just kind of like, it was very, very rare to meet somebody that was born here. And if you told them that you were, people would be like, no fucking way. You know what I mean? Because everybody came from somewhere else. Everybody.
We talking about?
Like how it was weird when I was growing up. Like it was weird that you were born in Florida.
Yeah, most people aren't from here.
Because hardly anybody was.
Yeah.
I was, though.
People didn't live in Florida until after the 1950s. before the 50s, this place was not inhabited. Most of it was swampy. You couldn't live here. There was no air conditioning.
Yeah,
So
fuck
just
that.
like fuck that. Nobody lived here.
I wouldn't live here now without air conditioning.
Yeah,
Fuck
air
that
conditioning
one.
made it possible to live here. And that's really when people started to move here.
Yeah, when my grandparents moved here in 1958 to Daytona Beach, or Holly Hill, which is like a suburb or like a little part of Daytona Beach, they had one of the first 4 houses on their block. It was a little concrete house up on a hill, still there. And they had no central air. And the whole time that I was growing up, because I spent a lot of time at my grandma's because both my parents worked, she just had a window unit.
That's usually what they had.
And she still had that when she
In the
died.
70s. They had
in the 90s.
Yep.
So,
In the-
or in the 2000s rather. So,
My grandmother had that all through the 70s.
I don't know if the people that bought
Yep.
the house after she died, like, installed central air.
Yeah.
Because, man, that house, the window unit was in the little dining area. Like, there was like a galley kitchen, and then there was like a dining area, and the thing was right there, like in the window. And so in the back of the house, like all the bedrooms and shit like that was hot as fuck in the summertime. Everybody had to sleep in the living room, like in the formal living room.
Yeah.
In the summer because it was too hot, like to sleep in the back of the house, even with the windows open. Because even with the windows open, there's no air moving. So it makes absolutely no difference. Having the window open, now you can just hear all the bugs outside. You know.
Yeah, my grandmother didn't have central air conditioning until the 80s when they moved into that house in Heidelberg. And she ended up dying. My dad lived in there, and the central air unit eventually went out. It broke. This was probably about 10 years ago. He's dead now. About 10 years ago, the AC broke. So what he did was he was like, I don't want to fucking spend fucking, $3,000 for another central unit because they had an old 80s central unit out there. He went down to he goes, well, I'm just going to go down to Walmart and go get a window unit. So he did. He went down there and got one of those little ones that we have for an emergency. What's the name of that fucking Giallo? No, not Geare.
What the fuck is that? I don't know what that.
They're just a little fucking $100 air conditioner.
Yeah, it's like $120 or something. And you just like stick it. We use it sometimes, like if the central air is out, if they're working on it or whatever.
He said he put that in the window, in the living room, and turned it on. And a half hour later, half the house was cool. And he's like, "What?" And so he went right down to fucking Walmart again, got another one, and put it in his bedroom, which cooled the other half of the house. And he kept it like that. And he said that his house was just as cool as that old 1980s outside unit. And he was paying like 1/6 the amount of air conditioning cost for the electricity. That's how good those Windows units are compared to the
nowadays,
old shit we used to have.
Yeah. Even central air back in the day, I mean...
Central air back in the day sucked a lot of power and it didn't get that cold in there.
Well, I will say too that the window unit that my grandmother had, which was big, it was like a big one, because it was, in theory, was supposed to cool the whole house, which it absolutely did not.
Yeah.
But it would break every single year.
Yeah.
Every single year in August. And somebody would have to come and fix it.
But down in the garage, I got...
It just couldn't take it. It was just too much.
Down in the garage, I got 5 window units. 4 window units and one of them was a floor unit.
Yeah.
In boxes.
Yeah.
They're in the boxes with all the styrofoam.
Just in case.
Just in case, because if we lose air conditioning or lose power, that's usually what happens for a storm. I'll run the generators and hook up the
You can hook it up, yeah.
hook up the window.
And we can
units.
just stay in one room.
Yeah, or you might have 2 places that are real cool.
Yeah.
Because this is a pretty big house, and I'd have to run all that shit. I never ran them all at once. I think we've run 3 of them at once, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's you just can't live here without air conditioning.
You really can't. I mean, you won't die. Well, you might die, but I mean, you probably
Everything
won't
starts
die.
to stink to high heavens.
But yeah, I mean, it's miserable. Everything will start to mold immediately.
It's 100% humidity.
Immediately, shit will start to mold. Everything stinks in your house.
All the
After a couple of hours, if our AC goes off, Like, they were here, when was that? A couple months ago?
Mm-hmm.
They came and replaced both the outside units, the inside, everything.
This one's got 2 centrals.
So we got, like, brand new. Like, we have 2 central units, like, one upstairs and one downstairs.
$6,000, which is actually a good...
That's not bad.
It's a good deal. For 2 units...
I was surprised that it was that cheap.
I got it financed.
But they just came and did it, like, a couple months back. And they had, obviously, the air was off for, all day while they were working on it.
Yeah.
And even after, like, a couple of hours, everything started to stink.
Yeah.
Everything starts smelling like mold.
Yeah.
And the carpet starts to smell.
Yeah.
And it's just, like, it just smells like...
Just because all that heat and humidity, everything just starts growing.
And, like, your walls start to sweat.
Yeah.
Terrible. It's just, it's awful. Like I said, it's a fucking swamp.
You could live here back in the day in the old houses that they used to build, but you can't live here now in a modern house without AC. The ceilings are too low. There's not enough windows in them. There's a lot of problems. The old southern houses, the windows were more like glass doors that went from the floor all the way up to the ceiling pretty much. And each room might have 4 or 5 of those. And you open it up. And around the house was a porch. And the porch was usually screened in. And they were like a big Victorian looking house that was, from 1800s, late 1800s, early 1900s. They're pretty, but they were never built for air conditioning. Later on, they added fans. And the houses, if you were rich, you opened up all the window doors. You see, I forgot there's like 2 shutters all the way around the house, and then you turn the fans on, and it was screened in, so bugs couldn't get through. But some of them did anyway. It's the South.
Yeah, you're gonna have bugs.
You can have bugs. So
everywhere.
Rich people before AC had canopy beds. And the canopy was to hold the mosquito nets. Yeah. So you could get underneath there.
So you didn't get eaten alive while you were sleeping.
Right. You didn't get eaten alive while you were sleeping.
And perhaps get encephalitis.
Yeah.
Fun. Yeah. It's just, like I said, it's
and it
a
was
swamp.
Wood floors.
It's the swamp.
Wood floors. You couldn't walk silently around the house. Everything could crick, fucking upstairs and shit.
Although, like I said, it's weird because even with ceiling fans, even with all that kind of stuff, in the height of summer in Florida, the air does not move.
Doesn't move.
There is no breeze. If there is a breeze, it's hot. Right. Like it's hot air.
Yeah, and
like it feels like a heater.
And 100% humidity.
Yeah, like it's hot, wet air.
Yeah.
Going outside in July or August feels like going outside and having like a wet blanket on your face.
There's a British YouTuber that came down here, came to Orlando, and he was that dude that fucking, what's his name, Carl Benjamin. Also known as Sargon of Akkad. He took his family down here to go to Disneyland or Disney World. Disney World. And he's in one of the Disney hotels. And he goes out on the balcony. It looks like he's on about the 10th floor, maybe higher, 15th floor. And he goes, you guys don't understand it. This is like Satan's ass crack out here. He says, I've never seen anything like this.
We're not lying.
How hot. And then he goes, look behind me. Look down there.
We're not lying.
That is a swamp. That's a real swamp. And I'm in a high-rise hotel.
Yeah, it's a
swamp.
And
that swamp is part of Disney.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that whole area used to be a swamp.
It's a swamp. That's why
until Disney bought it.
Disney built the park in a swamp.
They built it on a swamp.
Yep.
They filled in a swamp.
Yeah.
To build Disney.
But that British guy came here and he just thought it was just insane heat and humidity. He'd never experienced anything like it.
Yeah, like I said, it just smacks you in the face. Like I said, it's like a solid...
Yeah.
I don't think people understand. Like, well, I mean, if you live in the South anywhere, you do understand. But it's like, you walk outside and it's like walking into a wall.
Yeah.
Like, it's not air. It's just kind of like... Whoa.
And the funny thing is it's not the heat. Because I served in the army in Egypt. In the fucking Sinai desert. And it was hot as fuck. Super hot. But I loved it because the humidity was zero.
Yeah, and I've been out in the Southwest, like I've been to like New Mexico and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like it's hot, but it's not the same.
It's not miserable because your body can sweat, so you can regulate your temperature in there, and it's kind of like
which
refreshing.
Is what your body's supposed to do.
Yeah, so it's actually
here it doesn't work.
Yeah, that kind
as
of heat,
intended.
That kind of heat is actually kind of refreshing if you have zero humidity. You're like, yeah, this is nice. You throw humidity into that mix, no. Fuck no. And
it just sticks.
Yeah, it got super hot. It was probably like 110. I think it got up to 110, 115 sometimes, Fahrenheit. Fucking super hot. But you could shake it off. It wasn't. And a lot of Egyptians didn't have air conditioning in their buildings because if you weren't in direct sunlight,
it wasn't
that bad. Yeah.
Well, like I said, I mean, there's a reason that's a cliche. Like, it's not the heat, it's the humidity.
It's the humidity.
It totally is. Because, like I said, I've been to the Southwest and shit. I've been to Colorado and New Mexico and shit like that. And it's just kind of like, when it gets hot there, it's hot, but it's not the same. Like, you can go in the shade and it's like, oh, it's nice. Yeah. Like, here, you go in the shade, it's like, it's still fucking hot.
Yeah. I'll take that Mideastern.
It's nighttime. It's still fucking hot. It never cools off. It's just always hot. It's very oppressive.
I'll take the Middle East heat and Southwest heat down the Mojave Desert and shit. I'll take that over this anytime. This is,
to be honest,
that's easy. That's cakewalk compared to fucking humidity of fucking Florida. And Mississippi's bad too. So is Louisiana, very bad.
Yeah,
it's just that Florida's worse, much worse.
I mean, Florida.
It's worse. Yeah.
Well, and the thing about it too is like even in this house when we have really good air conditioning, like I said, it's brand new. And actually, my office is freezing cold, which I appreciate. But in the bedroom, for whatever reason, it's not quite as cold in there. So it's like to sleep, we have column fans, and I have one for each side, and we put them on the nightstands. And I have to have that blowing directly on my face, or I can't sleep. And even then, I can't really have blankets on. And that's with air conditioning. Air conditioning and a fan. It's still hot. I'm still too hot. So it's just kind of like, and I can't sleep. You know what I mean? So I have to fucking do that. CB said, so if we see a story, we're talking about Florida Man. So if we see a story about a bald goth getting arrested for lifting weights with his dick, we will know it's Tom.
Me. Yeah, of course, yeah.
Wait, is lifting weights with your dick illegal now?
A Florida man will be doing that shit on the highway.
Okay, well, if it was in public, yes, that would be illegal.
It'd be on the side of the highway.
Like I said, you could do it in your own house and no one would. You could lift weights with your dick if you wanted to. Like Mr. Lifto from Jim Rose's Circus Sideshow.
I didn't see that.
You don't remember Jim Rose's Circus Sideshow? Very big in the 90s. They were open for Lollapalooza and all that. Mm-hmm. You don't remember Mr. Lifto?
No.
He used to lift weights with his penis. How can you
never
forget that?
No, never heard of it.
I don't know what happened to Mr. Lifto after.
Yeah.
But yeah, he used to lift weights with his dick. Not like not like that, but you know what I mean, like lifting like with a thing hanging. You know what I mean. You know what I mean.
Zach sent you some money.
Where? Oh, I'm way behind.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you very much. Zach sent us a super chat. Why is the humidity always seemingly the worst when you first wake up and then after you shower? Yeah, it's just kind of like...
I never really noticed that.
Waking up is not too bad, but yeah, the shower thing... I try to, like, not put the water on super hot, like, in the shower. Like, I try to put it right in the middle where it's kind of just, like, lukewarmish cool. But even then, like, the mirror fogs up and I have to open, like, all the bathroom... Because I have 2 doors to my bathroom, like, one into the office and one into the hallway. So I have to open them both up to get
Our house is always 71 degrees.
It is, yeah.
It's always 71 degrees.
But it's different. I mean, it's like my office, where we are right now, is usually really cold. Which, like I said, I like that. But for whatever reason, the bedroom is not. Like, it's not hot in there, but it's still, like, a little bit too hot for me.
Those new units outside are going to worth their weight in gold. It got a lot cooler in here. I could get it much cooler than 71 if I wanted to. And the power bill went down by almost $300 a month for summer. Because summer power bill's fucking high, and it's all air conditioning costs. So it was like went down $300, I think. Didn't I say that?
Yeah.
$300, yeah. Fucking
yeah,
amazing.
It made a huge difference. Well, because we weren't sure because they were saying it's like, oh, this will make a big difference on your power bill.
Yeah, we were like, yeah,
whatever.
They probably all say that. No,
but yeah, when we got the power bill, I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
They weren't fucking around, I guess.
Yeah, it went way down.
I don't know when, because this house isn't that old. It's only like, what, 11, 12 years old?
14 years old.
14 years
34,
old? Okay.
14 years old.
So I don't know when, so I'm assuming that the units that were there were the ones that were there when the house was built.
Probably, yeah.
So having them replaced a couple months ago, I didn't know how much difference it would make.
They were at least 10 years, so.
But it did make a big difference, honestly. Yeah. Randy said, losing power in July, August is the fucking worst. Oh, yeah. And, like, a couple of years back, actually, when we lived in Sanford still, we had that hurricane, and it knocked our power out for a couple of days.
Yeah, right? It was miserable.
Yeah, it was like 2 or 3 days. And,
even the cats were miserable.
Oh, man.
The cat's like, what the fuck?
I can't imagine. I felt bad for them. I was like, oh, my God, they're covered in hair.
Yeah, and they're like, why are you guys doing this?
And they kept looking at us like it was our fault. I felt so bad.
Why is it hot in here?
The cats cracked me up because at the old house where, Beijing used to go outside on the back porch and Pookie used to go on the back porch sometimes and kind of fuck around in the backyard. But we don't let her outside at this house, but we used to. And, like, when it was real hot outside, like, you'd open, like, they'd be like, hey, I want to go outside. Yeah. Like, they'd be at the sliding glass door. And you'd open it, and then they'd walk out, and then they'd look back at you like, what the fuck is this about?
You could see the heat. You could see the heat hit them, and they would go.
And they'd look at it. This is like the look on their face was like priceless.
They start squinting. They'd look up
because they'd look at you like, what the fuck? Why did you do this?
And I said, I didn't do it.
We're like, we didn't do it. And they're like, fuck you, man. And then come back inside like...
Pookie knows what a power outage is, though.
Yeah.
If we're in the house and all of a sudden all the lights and fucking everything goes out, boom, she looks right at me like, Daddy, what happened? And I'm like, what? And
what did you do?
And everybody's going, she goes, oh, shit, the power's out again. Because I'll walk around going, oh, fuck, and she's looking out the window, yeah, power's out. They're not dumb.
No.
They know when the power's out.
Honestly, Pookie is like, she kind of scares me, like how smart she is sometimes. Mm-hmm. She's like a person, I've known people dumber than her. I'm just saying.
She knows what's up.
She absolutely knows what's going on.
Yeah.
But we've said that before. I know people always say that about their pets, but honestly, she's like scary smart.
She does what if you tell her to come here, she comes. She'll come here. She'll come.
Yeah, which is weird.
Unless she's fucking with you.
She has a little thing where if you did something to piss her off, then she will deliberately not do it. But you can tell that she's deliberately not doing it. Like, nah, I'm not gonna. Like, she gets all like fucking indignant. You know what I mean? But yeah, her body language is very, very human. We always wondered if that was just because Bambi isn't like that.
No, Bambi's like a cat.
But we always wondered if Pookie was like that just naturally, or if Pookie was like that because we raised her from a tiny, tiny kitten.
It's that, and that she's a Manx, and they said that Manx.
Bambi's a Manx too.
Yeah, but she's a different kind.
Yeah.
And I don't think she's like a full-on type Manx.
She has a longer tail.
Yeah.
You know what's hilarious? Like she'll come in the bedroom at night, and if I'm sitting on the bed. All I can see, because Pookie's tail, she's a Manx.
It's just a stub.
She is like a stub.
Yeah.
Bambi is also a Manx, but she has like a longer, about that long.
Yeah.
So it's about half, or maybe a third, as long as like a regular cat's tail. But when Bambi comes in the room, all I can see, because I can't see her on the floor, like from the bed, like all I can see is her little tail, like walking around like that, and I said it looks like a little periscope. And like the other day, Tom's like, "Oh my God, she looks like a bumper car."
Yeah,
like that's the thing with the bumper car.
Yeah,
and I was like, "That's actually pretty cool because she's she loves me, I'm her person, and she follows me around every fucking where I go, and she runs under my feet like constantly. So she's always like crashing into my legs and like tripping me, and I've fallen a couple of times because of her because she'll run out of nowhere and just be like, "Mommy," and she'll like run under my legs. So it's like bumper car. I mean, that totally tracks. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I started calling her bumper car after you said that.
Pook,
I'm like, that's pretty funny.
Pook makes eye contact, and she makes facial expressions that look like human facial expressions. But I've heard that in the descriptions of Manx, they say that they're not really cat-like. They're more dog-like, and that they have facial expressions and that they're communicative, that they're very social, and they're real intelligent. They say they're real kind of up there with, say, like a Siamese. The Siamese are funny. I love Siamese cats.
Yeah, they're cool.
They're just expensive. One hasn't come my way. I'd buy one. But they're some of the coolest cats I've ever seen were fucking Siamese cats. They come when they're called. They run up and grab you.
They're very vocal.
Real vocal. They're talking constantly. If you're doing something, they got to see what it is, and they're real interested in what you're doing. Yeah, it's kind of interesting. if you go in the shower, they start crying. No, it's terrible.
Oh my god.
Yeah. No, help her.
I know.
That kind of shit.
Sorry, like I'm thinking of like a very old, like from the '90s, like a Paula Poundstone like comedy routine where she was talking. She always had like a bunch of cats, and she said the same thing. She's like, when I take a shower, and my cats think it's like the most horrible. She's like, they all line up one after the other, just like, oh my god, it was all over you. You know what I mean? Like they're freaking out about it. But
yeah, I've seen videos of two Siamese cats just fucking losing it over the fact that Mama was taking a shower, and
she's like,
her husband's taking video of them, and they're just going, rah, rah, and they're just crying, Mama! And they're rolling, going, no, no. They can see her in the shower, you know, because
they think she's probably dying in
the door, you know.
Oh my god, water! It's the worst thing.
Yeah, they're like, no. Yeah.
They're like gremlins. I don't understand, or Mogwai, I guess. It's like, you know, why do they hate water so much? I don't know. Why do they hate water so much?
They think you're drowning. I don't know. They don't all hate water. I've seen...
I've seen, like, cats that really liked water, too. Yeah. But it's unusual.
They got people that fucking go in the bathtub and bring the cats in.
Yeah, the cats like water.
They're in the water.
But, I mean, but generally, cats do not like water.
Yeah. I think you got to teach them about water early.
Maybe.
Japanese cats, I think, like water because their owners fucking wash them in the sink. That's like a Japanese thing, is to give a cat a bath.
Man, the couple of times
you don't have to give a cat a bath.
You don't.
No.
They're very clean.
They have their saliva is kind of like a antiseptic in a certain way. Not to you. Your saliva gets in your cut, it can kill you.
Well, yeah.
But it'll kill bacteria on them when they lick, and fucking it just kills everything because this shit's so caustic.
Yeah, I mean, and Jackson Galaxy.
Yeah.
Because a couple of people said, "Well, should I bathe my cat?" And he's like, "I really don't advocate unless it's if it's a Sphinx that doesn't have hair. That's kind of another thing. Sometimes you have to bathe them or like do another thing like that. But normally, cats do not need to be bathed, and it usually just stresses them out, so they don't recommend it.
And they never, and they never smell.
No, I
never bathe Pookie, and Pookie just smells like fucking baby powder.
Pookie smells like baby powder.
Yeah.
Like all the time.
Yeah.
The one time we had to give her a bath, like after her butt exploded.
Yeah.
She had her little anal glands got.
Yeah.
Yeah,
she was very upset about that.
And she was very upset. And so we had to give her a bath after that because she had, she got blood on her and stuff like that. And she was really not happy.
Yeah.
Really not happy. We've only given her a couple of baths in her whole entire life.
Her ass exploded, she smelled it, and she vomited. So there was all this
blood. So bad.
There was blood and pus from her booty exploding, and then next to it was a bunch of vomit. And she said, "What the hell's happening to me?"
I know, it was terrible. Oh my god, my heart broke.
Yeah. It happened all at once. She wasn't showing any signs of that. She didn't seem like she was uncomfortable or anything.
Because
usually they can't walk and they're going. Oh,
well, it happens to dogs too.
Yeah.
Like they'll get, if they don't get enough fiber in their diet or whatever, it's like a lot of times like their anal glands will like swell up, and it causes them like a lot of pain, and so they start like scooting like across the carpet and all that kind of stuff. And she hadn't been doing that. She was just acting totally normal. And then all of a sudden, like I came up the stairs one day and she was in the hall, like outside the bedroom. And she was like just licking her butt, and like there was blood on the carpet, and I was like, "Oh my god!" I was like, and I freaked out. I was just like, "Oh my god, she's bleeding."
I didn't know what had happened.
I mean, my cat, they're my babies, right? So I was just I was flipping out, and I didn't know what happened. And then we found out what happened, and so we had to give her a bath because she was all bloody and all this other kind of crap, and like we had to spray like the antiseptic on her butt, and she was like really not happy about that, and started putting pumpkin powder in her thing again and all that other kind of crap. You got to put like pumpkin powder in their food. They hate it though. I mean, our cats do. I try to like sneak it in, like sprinkle it on their treats or whatever, but they know. What they did last time, I put pumpkin powder on some of the treats. Like, because I leave some treats out for them. You know what I mean? Because otherwise they riot, like in the middle of the night and start knocking the treat thing over. Like, hey, like give us some shit. So I sprinkled it on some of it, and I noticed the next day that they had taken all the treats that had pumpkin powder on and pushed them off of the plate onto the floor and did not eat them. So they were just not having it. Not having it. I'm not really sure what I'm going to... I don't know. I might have to just mix it into their wet food, I guess. But I've tried that before, and they wouldn't eat the wet food either. They're not dumb. I don't know. We have to be really sneaky. Phantom said I like all cats, to be honest. I do too. I mean, cats are the best. Way better than people, that's for sure. CB said, my cat gets in the bath with my girlfriend and I have to go get her sometimes. Yeah, our cats do not like water at all. But I know that there are some cats that do. Like, honestly, if I just accidentally, like, sprinkle water on one of the cats, they flip out and act like I just, like, murdered their child or something. Yeah, Zach says, you ever see the video of the Siamese cat screaming at the woman showering? They sound like Patty and Selma. Yeah, I think that was the video that we were talking about. Because I know exactly what video you're talking about. They just, I don't know. I mean, Pookie is just kind of like, she's a daddy's girl. Like, she'll hang out with me sometime too and give me headbutts and stuff. But, I mean, man, she just, like, she sits on daddy. She just, like...
pesters me, yeah.
She just pesters Tom, like, constantly. Like, hey, wrestle with me and play with me. Like, do this and that. She's always, like, sitting by him and all this other kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Whereas Bambi is, like, a mama's girl.
Yeah.
She is always sitting in my office, laying on my feet, plopping. Like, she wants me to pet her belly and yelling at me and shit like that. Like, constantly. You know what I mean?
So, we'll probably shut it down in about 15 minutes.
I mean, 15 to 20 minutes.
There's stuff that I got to do. Yeah, 15, 20 minutes, because there's stuff that I got to do first before we go. Should be a good night tonight, though.
I would hope so.
Yeah. I don't want to drink anymore, though.
John Smith said, I have a Singapura, which is the epitome of diva. We also have, other than Pookie and Bambi, who are both Manxes, we also have Beijing, who is a ragdoll.
Yeah, and she's always hanging around downstairs.
She mostly stays downstairs. She comes up every now and then to, like, to steal food and stuff. Yeah. But she is she's
old now.
She's older. She's probably 14, 15,
something like that.
Something like that.
I thought she was going to die for a while, but she made a comeback. Yeah.
She was
throwing up a lot.
She's a total princess.
Yeah.
She's like, I mean, she's one of those cats. She's like, look how beautiful I am.
Yeah.
So beautiful.
Yeah. Her whole thing
like super fluffy.
Yeah. Her whole thing is that I'm pretty. That's all she does.
Yeah.
I'm pretty.
She just, like, swans around the house being like, look how beautiful I am.
Yeah.
And, like, crying in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
Every now and then, like, you wake up and you hear her going,
yeah.
It's like, it's kind of spooky, but, like, we know what it is. So, you know what I mean? The other cats don't do that. Now, they do run around in the middle of the night, like, chase each other. So sometimes you'll wake up at, like, 3 in the morning and you hear, like, up and down the hall. But while they're chasing each other, but you know.
Yeah, Beijing's a good cat. She's not real smart though. She doesn't really. She sleeps a lot. She never really did anything that interesting. She carried around a strip of leather that had a black dot on it, like it was an eye. She carried that around for a while.
Like that was her baby.
Yeah, and then she would bring me little hacksaw blades, really fine hacksaw blades.
Yeah, I don't know why hacksaw blades. She would leave them outside the bedroom door.
Yeah, she kept bringing me those.
Like, here, that's for you.
Yeah.
Weird. I don't know why hacksaw blades.
And the piece of leather, I made a belt. It was a scrap from something I was making, and it just looked kind of like it was the width of a belt, and it was flat on one side, and or maybe it's rounded on one side. I think rounded on one side. And then on the other side, it was just kind of cut to a point. It was just a scrap. And I had a big black circle from felt magic marker on it. And I think she thought that was an eye.
Yeah.
And because whenever I found it, the black mark was up. It was never down. It was always up. And she would leave it for me. Just weird. She'd bring it to me.
Yeah, like every day.
Yeah. And the little black spot would be up.
She's like, here's my baby for you. Or an animal that I killed.
Yeah, that's what it is. She's trying to feed me.
Yeah. Isn't that cute, though?
I killed this. It's for you. I hunted it. Yeah. Man, it almost got away. Telling whole stories about it.
Which, like I said, is kind of funny. I guess that's why cats do that. Like, that's what all the vets say and everything like that. But, I mean, our cats, obviously, they don't go outside, so they can't bring us any horrible surprises, which is nice. Like, sometimes they'll bring you toys and leave them for you.
Beige brought me a fucking dead gopher. Remember?
That's right.
And Pookie saw it, and she ran up and picked it up and fucking body slammed it.
And
then tried to give it to me.
Take credit.
Like I did. I killed it. It says,
she tried to kill it. Credit. It was already dead.
Yeah.
She did try to, like...
I think Beige killed it.
I think so too.
Yeah.
This was at the old house when they used to go out back in the backyard. Well, didn't Beijing, I don't know if it was Beijing. I think she killed like a squirrel and it didn't have a head. I think she ate the head.
Yeah. She killed a squirrel too.
So it was a headless squirrel on the back porch.
Yeah.
So that was nice.
She kills stuff. She can hunt.
Yeah. But then meanwhile, Pookie, if she's in the house and she sees a bug, like a cockroach or something, she won't even kill it. No. She'll just freak out and be like, hey.
She'll try to wake you up.
Hey. Wait. And then she'll try to like come and wake you up.
Look.
Get it.
Cockroach. Look.
Get it.
Yeah. She won't touch it.
She won't touch it though. She's totally gross. Yeah. It's so funny. Like she'll jump around it.
Yeah. She'll smack it.
Like
ew. But then she's like, ew. She definitely doesn't like it.
Yeah, it's hilarious. But she
won't eats them.
Beige will just eat them. She's just like, fuck that. You find like a leg.
Yeah.
And then she's over there going.
Yeah.
But yeah, Pookie is just like, she's totally grossed out. I was like, I get it. I'm grossed out by them too. But it's funny that she won't kill him. She's like, Daddy, kill it.
Yeah.
She tries to warn you. So funny. CB said, my black cat, Max, set a mouse free in the living room, and it took me an hour and a half to catch it. Yeah. I think one of our cats did that before. Didn't they do that at the Sanford house? I don't remember which cat it was. Didn't one of them bring a mouse in that was still alive?
It wasn't a mouse. It was a bird, wasn't it?
Was it? I thought it was a mouse. I can't remember. One of them brought an animal inside that was still alive.
I remember one of them was a bird, a little sparrow.
I mean, now Pookie and Beijing would bring lizards in.
Yeah.
Pookie would bring lizards inside and be like, "Oh, this is my," and it wasn't dead.
Yeah.
I think she brought it in like wanted it like it would be her friend.
I don't know. No, there's no telling.
There's really no telling. So she'd bring the lizard inside, and then we wouldn't see it, and then like later on we'd find this lizard being like, "Help me."
We brought 2 squirrels in after the storm, after the hurricane. Found them underneath the bottom of the tree, fucking shivering like they were dying.
Yeah.
So I brought them in the house. Me and Jen laid them down. We were rubbing towels on them, get them dry. 2 little squirrels. We posted a video of it. And they were so cold. One of them tried to bite me, but he didn't have any strength to bite me.
Yeah.
I was like, these guys aren't going to make it. So I put it in a cat carrier. And they warmed up and were quite active. So we just let them go. It turned out they live in the palm tree right outside the window.
Right outside
See them all the time.
The gym window.
Coming out, yeah. They live in that palm tree. They were babies. They're only about that long.
But they were older babies. Like they still had like...
They could climb and run around.
Yeah. They weren't like babies.
You're right. But Pookie saw him and had him laid out on the ground. We were drying him.
Yeah.
And she's looking like, what is this? What is this? And she was like trying to touch it. She was trying to touch it. I said, don't touch it. And she's I said, don't touch it. She was smelling it, Wow.
I was afraid she was going to do something because she kept coming over being like...
Well, I think because of the way we were acting, she knew she couldn't. Because it wasn't hers.
Because she knows what no means.
She knows what no is, and she knows...
She can speak English.
She knows what's yours and what's hers. So...
She does try to get over.
Yeah.
But she knows what rules are. You know what I mean? Like, she knows the procedure.
Yeah, she wanted to pick him up.
Yeah. She's like, I want to play.
Yeah.
But we were like, no,
once we had him in the cat carrier, she sat there and just watched them like a hawk.
Like for hours.
That they were in there.
She just sat there in front and just stared.
Yeah. Looking
inside
through
that cat carrier.
Yeah, those things are in there.
And she went around, and then Bambi came in and like looked in the holes.
Yeah.
Like, what's in there?
Yeah.
Like they were they could smell it, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But it's like, what are these tiny little things? We could eat these. CB said, Jenny, I think it was your older cat that took over the BTK episode from years ago. Was it really? I have to go back and watch that. Did Beijing come in and fuck up?
I don't remember. Yeah, probably Beijing. That was before Pookie. I think
it might have been. Well, yeah. When was that?
BTK was 5 years ago.
We got Pookie.
We got Pookie here. Yeah, we got Pookie.
No, we got
Pookie over there. Yeah.
In 2017, summer of 2017.
Was it? Okay.
Yes. And she was a baby.
Yeah.
Like her eyes were still blue.
Yeah.
And that's like the person that allegedly found her in their backyard. This is a story.
It was a story. She made that up.
Sure or not. But it was a friend of your mom's, right?
Yeah.
And she said she found this kitten abandoned
It had been the
in her
dogs
backyard, and the dogs had bit its tail off, which you later found out was not
That's
true.
all bullshit.
It's a Manx.
Yeah, and then she said it was a female or male, and it wasn't.
Yeah, she said it was a boy.
Yeah.
So the first video that I made of Pookie, which was like the day after we got her, I was calling it a boy, but then like we were looking at her butt being like, that's... And the way she was acting, Tom's like, that's a female.
Yeah.
Pretty sure.
Yeah.
And then we took her to the vet like to get fixed, like later on they said, yeah, that's a female.
Well, she went into heat.
That,
we knew. But,
I have a video of that too.
Well, we already knew, though. You could tell that was not a male. But the woman that told us that was in the horse business. The mother knew her in the horse business. She's a Brazilian woman. And Brazilians don't have Manx cats. You know, and that's like a fucking stereotypical... What do they call them? A blue Manx? Or they're gray. But
she's like gray, and she's...
But I think they called it blue. But it's a British type cat, you know. They don't really have those.
It's like British short hair.
Yeah, yeah. So she saw that the tail was missing, so she assumed that it had been bitten off. That was what she told us.
But no, Pookie is a classic Manx. Yeah. She has the same body style. She has a tiny stubby tail.
Big fat body.
She has she's very round, little bitty short legs. Yeah. She looks kind of like a baby bear. She has a round head, round body. Very dog-like. Her behavior is more very like dog-like. Yeah. Everything that we read about Manx cats is like absolutely applies to her like 100%. Yeah. Like I said, Bambi not so much. We got Bambi because we saw her at PetSmart. They had just brought her from a shelter in Tampa. And we saw that she was a Manx, and we thought, oh, well, she's also a Manx, so her and Pookie might get along. Because we were looking for a friend, you know. And also, I kind of thought...
I just saw it as a sign.
Well, that too. Yeah. Well, and I kind of thought it also occurred to me that people might not want
that cat because that tail for
that had half of a tail.
Yeah.
Because she's not perfect or whatever the fuck. Yeah. Because there's 3, I don't know if people know, but there's 3 iterations of Manx cats. There's a cat with no tail at all. There's a cat with a little stubby thing, like Pookie has. And then there's like a half tail, like Bambi has. Yeah. And the ones that have no tail at all are the most valuable, as far as like.
I could just tell by the way that cat was acting on the trip back to the trip here when I let her see the house. I could tell that cat was going to be a trip. That cat was quiet the whole ride.
She is such a goofball.
And then put the box down and opened it. And Pookie was looking at that box, and we were standing there looking. And she jumps out of the box and says, "What the fuck is this?" She liked it. She jumped out of the box. Pookie's like, "Oh no!" And then she runs.
Oh no, Pookie, another baby.
No. Yeah, and I gave the cat walked the whole cat around the whole house, showed her all the closets and everything, and just let her go. And she's like, "Okay, thank you." And then
yay!
Didn't have to fuck with her since. She's having fun.
Yeah, she's very...
she knows what a house is.
Like I said,
she likes the house.
She's a little bit needy, but she's very affectionate.
Yeah.
Like if she sees... Well, particularly if she sees me, she's a little bit scared of Tom, I think.
Yeah,
but, because she's like, that man is loud.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like...
She tries to get me to chase her, though.
Yeah, she does like to play, though.
Yeah.
But like if she sees me walking around anywhere, holy crap. Like she just runs under my feet and like... She just runs in front of me and just like looks at me with her little head like that and just plops over, like hi, and then looks at me upside down, like pet. And this is the only cat that I've ever had that will actually let you pet her belly for a very extended period of time. She won't bite you or nothing. Like she'll just be like, all right. She starts rolling around like she just drinks it in.
Is anybody? They're talking about. Is anybody watching the Tyson fight right now?
How's it going?
Yeah.
Oh, well, they said that there was 3 fights before that.
Oh, 3 fights before?
Because that fight's like the main event.
Okay.
So there was like several fights like leading up to that. That's the opening act.
He has,
you know what I mean? So it's like we don't even know if that's like fucking doing the shit or not.
Yeah.
Tammy says when you're beautiful, you don't have to be smart. That's right.
Yeah.
I mean, until you get old and you're not beautiful anymore, then you better be smart because otherwise you're fucked. You know, just saying.
Although I have seen some old women that were beautiful.
Well, no, I'm not saying that. Yeah. I'm just saying that I kind of feel like what happens sometimes with girls that are really good looking when they're younger.
Oh yeah,
is that they coast.
They top out. Yeah, they top
and then like when they get older and
Yeah.
nobody pays attention to them anymore, they're just like, oh shit, I probably should have cultivated some other aspects to my personality that would like translate when I'm no longer good looking.
Cassandra Peterson's like what, fucking 74. She still looks fucking fantastic.
Yeah, and like I said, it's easier to like look better when you're older nowadays.
And then because the money, the technology's there. The technology's there if you have the money to use it.
But you can get stuff that's
it's not even as expensive as people think.
I mean, you gotta like go through some like, I don't want to say jump through hoops, but
you're gonna have to do some drugs.
You might have to go through a little bit of underhanded kind of.
Yeah, you got to do a lot of cheating because cheating's in the rules.
Kind of.
It's just not really cheating.
It's not really. I mean, it's not illegal. It's not illegal. No. Not really. Not really. Yeah, CB said the cat we got now, told us she was a boy and found out we took her for first vet visit. Yeah, and look, I understand it's hard to sex cats because the gender looks the same. Like, you know, if you don't know, you look at their butt and it's just kind of like a little, here's a little hole and here's a little hole. But it's just like when they're little, it's very, very difficult to tell the difference. But within a few days of having Pookie, Tom was like, I know that chick said that it was a boy, but I was like, I'm pretty sure this is a female cat. And I was like, yeah, I kind of think you're right. And then like later when we took her to the vet, like I said, to get fixed, like we knew that before because like I said, she went into heat. So we'd already like established, but the vet was like, yeah, that's a female. So it's just interesting that we could tell.
I could tell by the personality within a few days. I was like, that's a female.
I mean, when I'm thinking about it, I don't know if I've had a lot of cats in my life. I don't think I've ever had a male cat.
You never had a tomcat, huh?
I don't think so. I think all my cats, now that I'm thinking back, I'm pretty sure like all of the cat, or all but one, were females.
My dad had a tomcat, a real tomcat. He wasn't fixed. And he couldn't really stay in the house because he would come in, we'd let him into the house, and we'd feed him. But then, you know, when he would try to investigate the rest of the house. He was a neighborhood cat. He would try. That's how this is. He'd try to investigate the rest of the house. You're like, no, go back in the living room because if you turned your back on him, he'd fucking spray.
He'd spray, yeah.
So we'd keep him around for a couple hours. You know what I mean? It's okay. You gotta go back out. And he had a place out there he could sleep. My dad bought him a little sleep place, which he used about half the time. But he was just this fucking... And it's a totally different animal than a domestic fixed cat. He was a domestic cat, but he wasn't fixed. His head was just a big fucking knot of fucking scars and scar tissue because his face just kept getting ripped open from all these fights. And he was mating constantly. And he was big, man. His upper body was big, and he walked around macho and shit. And he would let you pet him for a few minutes, but then he's like, "Arr, that's enough.
Get off me,
yeah,
you hairless cat."
Yeah. So they're not like soaking up fucking pets and shit. They're not like that. And he would just like sit. You'd be sitting watching TV, and he'd sit next to you, like he was watching television with you, like he's chilling with you, like he's a man.
Some cats like TV.
You know.
Our cats don't.
He wasn't watching TV.
They don't care about TV.
He was just sitting there hanging out with humans. And but he was fucking weird, man. He was funny. Me and my dad would be out barbecuing and shit. Some kind of venison or whatever. And fucking we saw him come walking, and he had a female with him.
That's my girlfriend.
Yeah. Well, it was even better than that. And I was like, oh, here he comes. And he's like, oh yeah, there he is. You know, got his female with him. And fucking, I turned my back. When I looked back at him a few minutes later, he's just fucking her, just going away, just like that.
He's like, I thought you might want to see this.
Yeah. He's like right there in the grass. It's daytime.
Cat born.
And I said, Dad, look at that shit. And he goes, yeah, and that's his daughter. And it's like, what? And he goes, yeah, that's one of the kittens that fucking he littered. She got them all. They're all related to him.
Cats have no morals.
Cats don't.
They don't
Cats don't know what a daughter is.
Well, especially male cats don't.
Yeah, he don't. This is his daughter.
They don't hang around or nothing.
Yeah.
So it's like, hey, it's a female cat. I'm gonna fuck it.
They don't care. They don't know the difference. Or
I don't give a shit if it's related.
They don't care.
They don't care.
He said every cat.
They really don't.
He said every female cat in the area was related to him. He had driven everything else off.
Mm.
You know.
Yeah. That's pretty.
Those
funny.
are Mississippi cats. They're kind of semi-outside cats. Some people would take them in and get them fixed, but then they vanish. But a lot of times, cats just switch from one house to the next. They might have 4 or 5 houses they go to.
Yeah, they got a route.
They got a route to get food and to hang out and to sleep. So it's not so much like you own the cat. The cat feels like he owns you. You're in his territory. So you don't know where the cat is all the time. You don't care. Sometimes they never come back because they got killed. But, you know, that's just the way a lot of Mississippi animals were. You know, people owned dogs like that, where the dog slept in the backyard in a fucking doghouse, but it was never really at home. There was no fences or anything. And the dog would be gone all day and then just come back, go to sleep. You'd feed him, you know, and he's like, hey, I'm back home. But that's how we grew up. Same thing when we were little kids. That's how we grew up. We were gone all the time.
Well, like I said, it does kind of feel like it's kind of a more modern invention that people actually take care of their animals.
Yeah, of like pet things where they're in the house all the time. That's a modern concept. They didn't have that in the 70s and the 80s.
Yeah, I remember
in Mississippi, they didn't really have that in the 70s.
Well, no, I remember...
In the 80s, they started to have that.
Yeah. Because I remember in the 80s, like, people kept their animals in the house.
Some people kept animals in the house.
But yeah, prior to that, it was just kind of like, yeah, you just kept them out in the yard. Or
they were in and out. 80s was a lot of in and out.
Yeah,
the animal could choose to either sleep in the house or sleep outside.
Yeah, like they'd let the cat out at night, like to run around.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, I can't imagine.
Yeah.
Like, especially not in Florida. I'm just like, oh my God, my babies are going to be picked up by an alligator or a hawk or something.
We weren't protective of them because we had so many of them. And they're not really, they don't really feel like family members because they're not with you all the time. You just see them over and over again. Yeah, okay. It'd be like you have a bunch of raccoons that show up that you feed. And they hang out for a few hours and then they move, then they leave.
I'm kind of
they have guys that have those.
I know, but it's like, I'm kind of glad that mentality is dying because I mean I can't imagine the cats that we have, they're distinct, they're individual personalities. I consider them like family members.
Yeah, but there's something to be said for the old way too, though, because one, there were more cats. None of them were fixed.
Yeah, I get that.
So they would just
I
multiply
at the same time as you did.
Yeah, they would multiply.
I remember that.
But that's not a house cat. We had a concept called a house cat. That's a cat that never leaves the house. That's what we have now. But back in the 70s and the 80s, you had cats that were just kind of like cats. Your friends. They'd come, you'd feed them. Sometimes they'd spend the night. You really couldn't keep them in the house. They'd piss in the house. You know.
Yeah, I know. I get that.
Yeah,
but it's just kind of like now.
And they didn't. They remember how active those animals were. They didn't want to stay in your house.
Yeah, I know.
They were more like something from outside. They'd pet you. The females especially, but not so much the tomcats. The tomcats were always trying to fucking impress you.
Because males of every species
are like,
kind of
don't touch me.
But yeah, but honestly, like nowadays, I can't even imagine, like our cats. I kind of think of them as like children.
Yeah.
So it's like I could never imagine, like if something happened to them, like I don't.
Well, also
I wouldn't be able to like fucking get over it.
Also, the area's developed. It's more grown up now. So you have animal control. You couldn't have a situation where you have 5 cats constantly coming and going out of your house, and they're out most of the time. People would call on them. I got these stray cats everywhere. You know, you couldn't do that in Sanford, and then animal control would get them. So but that wasn't like that in Mississippi. It was too rural, and you know, they wouldn't bother anybody. You know, it was just part of the culture. Hey, what's up, kitty? Oh, you've been coming here. Here's something to eat. You know.
Yeah, and
everybody
there's
did.
still
Old ladies
some places where do that.
Yeah, old ladies feeding them and shit.
Like I said, my cats are my cats. Anybody fucking touches them, I will end you.
Yeah, those
like seriously.
Those particular outdoors cats that I remembered, nobody ever considered them their cats.
Yeah,
they were
just
just
like
cats.
A community cat.
They're like a neighborhood cat. Yeah.
Tammy says, I have 2 cats and 2 dogs, and they go in and out all day, but they must stay inside overnight. Yeah, it's just like I wouldn't. one time when we were at the Sanford house, Pookie was outside because we would let her out. Like, she would go in and out, like, in the evening, like, when we were still awake. She would go and fart around on the porch or, like, in the backyard or whatever. But one night, she went out, and we couldn't find her. Like, she wouldn't come back.
Yeah.
She didn't come back, and I was fucking frantic. Like, we went out with, like, Tom went out with the flashlight and looked for her, and it's just, like, we're looking under the fence. We're looking, because it was a fence, like, in Sanford, where we used to live, in the back of the backyard. It's like, did she go under the fence? Like, did she get in the swamp? Was there an alligator? Did an alligator get her? It's just, like, all this other kind of shit. Did a bear get her? We don't know. And it's like, we were freaking out, and I stayed up until fucking 1 o'clock in the morning, and then she finally came wandering back up, just like, hey, can I come back? And I'm like, you motherfucker. I'm just like, oh my God, don't ever.
She was in the neighbor's bushes.
Yeah, she was hiding in the neighbor's bushes. But still, it's like, I didn't know that, and I was, like, flipping out. Because we had gotten to a point where just like, oh my God, she's gone. And I was like,
Okay, it's late. We're going to have to start shutting it down. Got to start getting ready for the trip. Okay.
All right, so we got to go out this evening. It's Memento Mori tonight. That's why we're all dressed. Well, I'm dressed up. Tom looks the same as usual. But yeah. So hopefully you guys have a good rest of your evening and have a good weekend. I don't know what the Monday movie review is going to be. We'll figure something out. Like I said, I was going to do a Thanksgiving movie, but I guess Thanksgiving isn't this week, so we'll think of something else. We might do a Thanksgiving movie 2 weekends in a row. I don't know. But yeah, so have a good night tonight. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out with us this Friday evening. Thank you for your super chats and the cool discussion. We will see you guys again on Monday night. Have a good weekend and good night.